Hi everybody, it's Michelle, and today I'm going to do my mid-month check-in for One Book July. Now to begin, I am going through the audiobook version of this book, The Bullet Journal Method, and I have several notes that I have in here in my book that are things that I thought were really relevant to me and what I need to learn in order to kind of process everything better. So I'll kind of show you those notes I have in here. The book has stayed the same. I don't have it in the cover right now. It was in my Gaylor leather cover, which is this one right here. And I pulled it out because the bad boyfriend was calling me back, which is this Hobonichi Weeks. And I have been carrying this around as my wallet. So I didn't need this for my wallet, and I went ahead and I just pulled it out. Now I was waiting for some covers to come in, and I did get my cover from AliExpress, which is this one right here. And then I ordered this one from Amazon, which is a lovely leather cover. It's really nice with a snap cover instead of an elastic closure. And I may be going into this one, or I also have this one, which I ordered from Amazon, and it is a Echo Park cover. I just love this color scheme, and it goes with the Cocoa Daisy kit that came for August. So I think I'm actually going to be moving into this red one for August. I'm just going to put the book in here with my Cocoa Daisy book for the month. I did go back and get the standard size for August, so I get standard size, personal size, and I get the A5 planner pages. But this will be in here with my bullet journal, but no wallet at this point. Maybe I will do it, I'm not sure, but right now the wallet is with my Hobonichi Weeks. So quickly I'll just show you what this one looks like inside. It's really nice, but it's kind of too bulky, and I'm really picky about the way things feel in my hand, and so it was just too much bulk. But it is nice. I thought about putting all of my journaling type of stuff in here, maybe, because there's a lot of storage to hold like ephemera. It's got this zipper pocket in the back. It's got this little pouch pocket here. There's no pocket on this side, which is really bizarre, but it has all these card slots here also, and a pin loop right there. So it's really nice. It's like a PU leather, and I got this from AliExpress. So I'm going to put the covers away because, you know, the covers don't really matter with what the book is what matters, what goes inside the book. So this is just the window dressing. It's like the makeup you put on, or the clothes you put on over the body right here. Now, my book has stayed the same. I think when I originally did it, I did up until this point. So I have my daily logs and notes from videos. I like to listen to a lot of inspirational type videos and take notes, especially like my TEDx or TED Talks that I listen to. I like to listen to Robin Sharma, who's very inspirational. A lot of Tony Robbins, Marie Forleo, Gary Vaynerchuk, just little nuggets that I like to get from them. I like to write all that down. This is my calendar. You know, I said this was what's important. The calendar is what I use to plan everything. Everything else is pretty much just logging and notes and that tracking. The plans go on the monthly calendar, and the plans are here. They're in my phone. They're in my digital planner. So I have my monthly, and that is color coded, which I went over in the last video. Here's my log, and I really liked keeping this up. I've completed it for June back here, and here is my July log, and then here is my task list for the month. My work calendar, none of that's changed. These are my weeks that I set up in advance just to do time tracking. And that is the most structured that my book here is, just with the weeks and the months set up like that. For me, I have to have this look here at my month. It's really important for me to be able to get this visual look at what's going on and where I need to be at on any particular day. And I can see the entire month. Sometimes I like to work and see things at a week, but I need an overall look at the entire month so I know what is happening. More book notes, which I have not picked this book back up, which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which wasn't very effective of me, how ironic. But I haven't picked that one back up because I've been listening to this book right here. Daily logs, gratitude. This is just some personal stuff I'm tracking there. These are notes on the bullet journal method, and I continued it here on page 78 because I continued on over here, right here. So I have it here, continued page 78, and up here I have page 66 with the arrow pointing that way to let me know that this comes from page 66. Daily logs, just various notes. Just I make this whatever it needs to be for any particular day. Now, I will say, let me go back to my notes from the book. I'm finding that once I'm getting into I have the chapters written out here, into actually the practice of doing things, there's some things that, yes, I'm listening to, but I was more interested in all of the preparation and the system and why we do what we do and whether or not we really need to do it and the whole philosophy behind that. I think that's where I needed more guidance, or to be able to think about and give me some food for thought on why I'm planning the way that I plan, or so forth. The practice is different. So if you've been planning long enough, you kind of have an idea of what works for you and what doesn't. Now, I'm all for trying new things if it's going to be better. So that's why I am going through the book, to see if there are those things that I can incorporate that'll make me more efficient with the way that I'm doing things every day. Now, I find that when he talks about doing a mental inventory, that really spoke to me. And it's something that I haven't really done yet. That's where he tells you to write down the things that you are doing, the things that you should be doing, and the things that you want to do. And get all of that out of your head and categorize that. And because he described it as like when you empty out your closet. In order for you to clean your closet and go through your clothes, you have to first empty everything out of the closet. And then you decide what gets to go back in. And I thought that was a really great analogy. And that's something that, a lot of people can relate to. Yeah, get everything out of your head and then figure out what it is that you want to put back in and what are the things that you need to be working on. So, and then just other little notebooks, a lot of talking about the decision fatigue, which was really interesting. And a lot of other people kind of gauge that too, where they call it like, you have a full gas tank in the morning, and as you go throughout the day, you're using more and more gas. By the end of the day, you just run out of gas. And so it's hard to do anything at that point, which is why maybe the biggest and most important things should be done in the morning when we have more gas to work with. Talking about how writing out helps us to feel and think at the same time, which is a great way of looking at it, why a lot of people want to actually use pen and paper to get all of our thoughts out of our head and to make plans, because it does give you that time to think, okay, what is it that I need to do? Or, what do I think about this situation? So I will comment that even you can do that, of course, on pen with paper and a pen, but for those of you who are the digital planners, who, if you watch my digital planning videos, you can also do this digitally. Now, I'm not talking about using apps like your calendar app or like a task app. Those kinds of things are very specific to what a calendar app is, really specific to where you have to be at certain times, and it keeps your calendar for you. Like a task app, like Todoist and Google Task, those keep a task list. There are ways that you can try to hack that and make it more functional for you, but it's not the same as having something like this where you can write down all of this stuff. And it doesn't have to be organized, and yet it is organized because you can put it in the index up here and it tells you where to find it in the book. But you can do this digitally if you use OneNote or a similar app, because you have a pencil or a stylus that you can write. And I even have on my, let me grab it, on my, hang on, okay, on mine I have a matte screen protector that when I'm using my Apple Pencil, it feels more like writing on paper. It doesn't feel like I'm writing on a screen. So there are so many different digital planners that you can use if you want to buy a digital planner, or you can just use OneNote. You can use Evernote, even some you can type in or write in notes into Evernote. If you use an iPad, you have GoodNotes, Note Shelf, though all of those apps that are excellent for note taking. And you can just do your daily logs and your collections and everything directly in those apps. You can search your notes and find the things that you want if you don't want to put together an index. I personally prefer OneNote because that's where I have my planners, and I can set things up in a structure, you know, and keep things in different categories and different notebooks, and that just makes more sense for me. I will do a completely separate video on how you can do this method in a digital planner. And like I said, I'm not talking about using apps for that. I'm talking about, or like calendar or productivity apps, because I'm talking about using OneNote, GoodNotes, Note Shelf, Metamoji Note, those where you're actually doing what you would be doing on paper in that app, instead of something that's already preformed and you have to kind of work the way that that system is already set up. This is something that you set up yourself, just like you would set up your own book. So back to the book. I'm not sure how much, I may be skipping parts of the next sections, like I said, about the practice of doing it. I did get into like the daily reflections. That is something that I do in the morning when I wake up. I go through and I look and I see if I have missed anything from the day before. And because usually at night is when I sit down and I pretty much know I don't have anything else going on for the rest of the night. So I will turn to the next page and start putting in for the next day. I go ahead and I do that. I don't do that in the morning. I do it the night before. So I know, okay, I have this appointment, which I like to do it like this. I put my appointments at the top, so I know that's most important, or something I have to do and leave the house for, or something I have to be sitting at my computer for at a specific time. That type of stuff goes at the top for me. And then I'll think about all the things that I need to get done for that day, and I'll write in the task, and that's it. Of course, no notes at all, because I won't have anything to take notes on until the actual next day. And then I will sit down and for the current day, think about anything else I need to add in there, any journaling I want to do about that day. I will put all of that in so that it's all out of my head and here in the book. So at this point, I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well with this and trying to keep everything in one spot. That is the big thing about the making decisions, is that decide where you're going to put all of that info, and then it can always go from here out to wherever else you need it to be. And that is something that I've always done when I've used a paper planner in conjunction with my digital planner, is I knew, okay, I can put everything for the day here, and I can go back and look and say, okay, this needs to go into the digital planner, this needs to go here, this needs to go there. I need to update my passwords, or in this, wherever I have my passwords. All of that can then go somewhere else, wherever it needs to go. Or if it's a lot of important info, you just grab your phone, snap a picture, and then I can put it into the digital planner right from there. I don't even have to rewrite anything. I can just move it over. Now, as far as not setting up in advance, I generally don't do that except for the monthly spread, which I had done that with July. And as you can see, I've already done August. And that's because when my Cocoa Daisy subscription box comes in the mail, I'm just too excited to get started, and I feel like I just have to get things set up. So what I did was I just kind of counted out however many days were left in the month to give myself at least a full page for each day, and then a couple of extras for extra notes. And then I set up my calendar. I have my calendar, my log, and my inventory. I went ahead and named it inventory now for my mental inventory instead of task list, and my work calendar, and that is it. So now if I have appointments come up in August, I can go ahead and write them directly into the calendar here, and I don't have to put them down on this section here any longer for the next month. So August is set up, and if I end up running out of space and I can't finish out July here, that's not a big deal. I'll just go to the next blank page and do my finish up July. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people do get bothered by that, but I really don't care. It doesn't matter. I'll still know where to find it. The daily logs, I haven't always been starting a brand new page for a new day. If I barely had anything, I may go ahead and start the next day on the same page. And then like here, this is the 4th of July. I used full 2 pages just for that one day. You just never know how much space you're going to need. So that's my book. If you have questions, just, put it below. And I'm going to keep working my way through this as much as I feel that I can. There's some of the nitty gritty that in the book when he was talking about, the making plans for the vacation and that type of thing, I just kind of glossed over, and I probably need to go back and really listen to that. But it's a lot about goal setting and stuff, and I feel like I have a pretty good handle on that already. It's nice to get other people's perspectives, but I don't feel like I'm needing a whole lot of help in that area. I think I'm doing okay. But there's all these little nuggets of gold in this book that you find in between all of the other stuff. So I don't want to miss any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to it all. I may not be taking as many notes as I would be otherwise, but that's it. It's an excellent book. I still recommend it for everybody. And I will also, at the end of the month, probably show you guys my Hope in 2 weeks, because I know so many people love seeing this bad boyfriend with this codependent relationship. But this is not a planner. So it's not a planner. It's just where I go in and I put where I know I have one little book that's going to have the most important information for the year in here. Because I got this cover from AliExpress. It was one of the things I was waiting to get delivered, and it fits in here really nicely. I did have to just kind of string it on. I can punch holes, but I don't want to do that right now. This mega is getting so fat. I have a specific way that I do things in here, but I don't use it for a planner, if that makes sense. So that is my weeks that's in my planner. I think it kind of gives me a sense of security carrying it around with me. I don't know why, but I like it. And then I have sticky notes in here too, in case I'm just like stuck with this one book and I don't have this with me, or I can jot notes and then just pull it off and stick it in here. I do have 2 more of these coming. I was waiting to get my covers to see how I like them first and test them out. And I ordered 2 more colors of this because I really do like this little cover. It's really made cheaply. It feels like it's going to fall apart, and the pin loop did come apart already, only after about like maybe not even a week. But otherwise it's okay. I like it. So that is my update on my bullet journal method for now. I'm hoping to come back at the end of the month and give all the rest of my insights on what I feel I learned from the book and the things that I have incorporated into my planning style. And don't forget that you can do it on an iPad or a Samsung tablet depending on which app you use to take notes. All you need is a note-taking app, and you can do the same thing digitally than you can on paper. Okay, you guys, if you have questions, put them below. And remember to use the hashtag OneBookJuly2019 in your titles if you are making videos, and they will be added to the community playlist. And use the hashtag OneBookJuly2019 on Instagram, and we can all see what you guys are doing. You'll have a great day, and I will see you next time.